life will give you whatever you ask. Life will pay you whatever price you ask. So ask a bigger price. And most people don't learn that. They don't understand that. Life will pay you whatever you ask. Just ask what you want.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Keith, which is the founder of Ellis. So Keith, tell us, what are the 5 steps that entrepreneurs should be doing out there to make the first million?
Okay, the first step is obvious. They should listen to your show.
Amazing. I love this step. Thank you.
I guess I have a sort of a different approach to this. So my focus is on helping entrepreneurs achieve impossible goals. Wow. So there's some steps involved in that, but if you'll humor me a second, let me just sort of tell you how I got to this place. And there's another piece here too that we probably ought to do up front. I have a new book coming out. It's coming out next month.
Wow.
In November, and the title of the book is called 10x Superpower.
Wow.
But the subtitle is what says it all. Subtitle is How to Make the Impossible Easy. And the book is really it's a culmination of really my life's work. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there that when I figured it out or learned it from someone else, much of it I learned from other people, it blew me away. So I put 10 breakthroughs into this book. And here's the wrinkle that's a little bit weird, and I want to be upfront with your audience about this. The book cost $10,000.
Wow! I love it.
It's the first book in history that I know of that somebody's charging $10,000 up front for. Now,
depends on the value of the information, because
but that's exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. We've all had books that are worth way more than $10,000. We just didn't pay that for them. Maybe we got it from a library or a friend or bought it on the internet for $10 or whatever. This is something different. This is so valuable. I figured, you know what? I'm going to charge what it's worth. I'm going to put that up front. Absolutely. And then I started thinking about that. I said, in the coaching business, what a lot of coaches do, because I'm what I call a superpower coach. In fact, I'm the #1 superpower coach in the world. And
wow.
I teach this superpower called the 10x superpower. That's what the book's about. And most people in the coaching business will give you some content up front and then try to sell you an expensive coaching program on the back end. Nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly valid business model. I decided to turn that on its head. And I said, look, this book is worth so much, charge $10,000 for it. And I said, but is the book enough? No, what they really need is a coaching program. But you're already charging $10,000 for the book. So I said, okay, I'm going to turn everything on its head. I'm going to give you the coaching program for free. So the book comes with what I call my 10x Superpower Gold Mine coaching program. And it includes a bunch, one-on-one coaching with me and group coaching and all kinds of cool things, workshops and everything, but it's included for free. And I do that because we've all read books where we thought, this is really interesting. I'll just put this over here and I'll get the next book. And you read that book and you say, oh, this is great. I'll just put this over here and I'll get the next book. And making something useful come alive in your life often takes a partner, someone to help you be accountable. So what I'm doing and what I'm offering for free is the ability to say, look, I want to bring this to life in your life. And here's how you do it. And you've already paid for it. You don't have to take advantage of it if you don't want to, but man, it'll change everything if you do. So that's a very long-winded intro to this idea, but I like being upfront with people because of the nature of this unusual book. But back to the first $1 million question. First thing again is listen to your show and other shows like it. That's the first step. The other steps are, the simple step is to set goals, obviously, but everybody knows that. That's conventional wisdom. I wrote a book years ago called Magic Lamp, Goal Setting for People Who Hate Setting Goals. And I wrote it because I hated to set goals. And then it occurred to me that if you start thinking about goals like making your wishes come true, you sort of juice it up, you add some excitement to it. And I created this process called the LAMP process. And I put it in a book. The book was very successful, translated into a bunch of languages, sold around the world. It was great. Very successful. But I realized after using my own advice, eating my own dog food for several years and being successful, that I was incrementally successful. So I would grow my business by 20 or 30% a year, which is great. And then I do it the next year. Wonderful. And over time, there was real growth there. There was the first million there. It happened, right? But I also realized that I wanted more than that in life. I wanted extraordinary. I wanted exponential growth. And I didn't know how to do that. I was frustrated. And I'm a success junkie. I've spent my life studying the geniuses behind success, motivation, philosophy, from Socrates to Tony Robbins to Dan Sullivan to James Clear to all kinds of people. Okay. And I thought I knew a lot of stuff, but I couldn't figure this one out. So I dove back into my research and went to more seminars and did more research and called up people I knew and peppered them with questions, successful people. Ask them how they did this, how they did that. And what I came up with was this, what I had been missing was a certain type of question that is so powerful, it changes your life on the spot. It's at the heart of everybody's success philosophy. They don't necessarily talk about it per se, they just give you questions and they ask you questions. And these things were so powerful to me in my life, I started calling them magic questions. And I actually got a trademark, a registered trademark for magic questions in the United States because this is the heart of what I teach people. And so I wrote a book about it, of course. And the book is called Magic Questions. But the tagline, the subtitle says it all: how to transform your life at the speed of thought. And when you start using these questions, that's what you can actually make happen. So that was successful. That was great. But there was still something missing. It's like, wait a minute. I've got these goals, this goal setting model that's wonderful. I've got these questions that are wonderful. What's missing? And then I realized what's missing is that I'd been selling myself short my whole life. We all do this. I was brought up. I don't know about you, Harry.
I've done it also. So I agree 100% with you there.
You know the drill then. I was brought up thinking, okay, I want to set realistic goals, realistic with air quotes around it. I don't want to set a goal too big because I don't want to be disappointed. I still hear my family and my friends telling me this stuff, right? And it's like, after a while, I realized that's a bunch of crap. What we need to do is set bigger goals because bigger goals are actually easier than smaller goals. And this blows people's mind. This is something that I think entrepreneurs probably get at some emotional level that the rest of the world doesn't. But what I focused on was what I call 10x goals that are 10 times where you are now. And that's a huge leap for most people. I mean, I could have focused on 100 or 1,000 or something, but that's too much. It's hard to wrap your brain around it. But a 10x goal for most people is something they can understand, but they probably don't think it's impossible. Or I'm sorry, they don't think it's possible. They think it's impossible. And that's good, because what I teach people is how to make the impossible possible. and then easy, right?
Yeah.
And so that's really what this is about. So I took my original goal setting model, rewrote it for this impossible idea, sprinkled in magic questions throughout, and came up with this whole new system that's called the 10x Superpower Breakthrough. So that's a long-winded answer to a very simple question. How did you get your first $1 million?
Yeah, and I think, Keith, that let's start with something that what you start with. I think is really powerful. I actually congratulate you and applaud you to sell your book for $10,000. I'll tell you why. Because this is your life knowledge and your life experience. Only you in this world can teach this. Nobody else. Nobody can copy this book. Nobody can teach this. The only person that can teach this process is you, because it's based in your own life and in your own journey. But also, Look, when my first business was in real estate, we managed to sell over 5 million. And I remember that when somebody wanted to rent a room, yeah, they said, I said, do you want it? And I said, well, if you're serious about you leave some deposit, yeah. They say, well, I like the room, but I'm coming back. And well, when you're serious about something, you put money down, yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. When somebody put $10,000 for your book, they're gonna take the book seriously.
That's
And
right.
probably this is what they need in order to turn their life around, if that makes sense. Yeah. So you are putting a price point that is actually doing a favor for whoever is gonna buy it, because
Yes.
that price we make the person to absorb, digest, and give value to the value that this information have. And of course, you're giving a plus for free, which is your support and your coaching things as a support. But they already have a backbone of a great information. And let me tell you something. Talking about the 10x, yeah. I talk a lot with small business owners, and when I talk, I say, well, we're gonna 10x this business. Most of the people tell you this is impossible. Yeah, this is
Exactly.
I mean, some people come back and they look, this doesn't have any logic. 2 times, 3 times, 1 time, this is logic. You're exaggerating. And this is common knowledge. This is what people actually will tell you. But the truth is, you really can't. I've done it. I've done it with our business. That that even we select the product 1 year for 97, the other year is 10 times more. The other year, you know what I mean. So I've done it several times. So it's actually possible. So what do you think, Keith, or which message do you have for entrepreneurs out there that think that this is too good to be true? This is not even possible. And you just have, like, the other thing that you said, it was very important about goals, and people setting up low goals. Sometimes I do the workshop and I ask the people openly, how much money you want to make a month? And the people said 5,000, 2,000, 3,000. I'm like, guys, I'm just asking you. You can say 100,000 if you want.
Right.
You can say a million. I'm just asking you. I'm not even telling you to open a business. I'm just asking you, how much money would you like to make every month?
Yeah.
And from the general public, I always receive like those low numbers. And it comes to about this self-esteem that we all have, that that we think is very small, and this affect our capacity to see big. So number one, what message do you have to the people to the naysayers, people that said this is too good to be true, this is not possible, and how can we encourage people to actually to set bigger goals? Because the good thing about bigger goals, if you don't achieve them, even if you get half, you're already 5 times away. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head, and the price. Interesting enough, the price has sort of become a test for people.
I love it.
When I tell them the price, if they go, that's crazy, I realize what I'm offering you is a chance to make the impossible easy, and it's not worth $10,000 to you. Guess what? This book isn't worth anything to you at any price. You're just not there. Your brain wouldn't wrap around it.
You don't understand the concept. It's absolutely.
Exactly. But if somebody says $10,000 to make the impossible easy, I'm worth that. It's an investment. It's like what your guy said that in the previous podcast that you've posted, Philip J. Chan. He said, you've got to think big. You've got to think about this. You've got to commit to it, and you've got to think in terms of investing instead of expense. Right? If you're investing, you're good to go. So
follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.